Happy Chinese New Year, everyone, my loved one and my friends. Hope wishing you going to be have a prosperous years in the year of horse, where wishes come true. Continue to make more money and have a great health. There are a lot of things happening, over the last couple of years. But however, what's so good thing about human beings different than AI is we have ability to learn from the past and actually embrace for better tomorrow. Let's talk about look like that. Recently, what happened to the stock market? High test since beginning of February. Actually, once earnings have come back, despite with a very strong earning, you have actually shown a mixed volatile action as the investor basically proceed earnings, rising oil price, and potentially geopolitical risk involving Iran, causing some anxious and actually properly selling off, especially high tech ground. The S&P 500 gained on Friday, however, following a Supreme Court ruling against emergency tariffs, while the heavy Nasdaq rose. ESTY, however, proposed actually 21%, pop 21% after news of a dollar 1.2 billion acquisition by eBay. Despite that, shares of Apple, Meta, Broadcom, Alphabet, Advanced Micro Devices, Microsoft, still, among all the AI trade, winner is still get beat up from the market. But let's talk about some of the stock that, in my previous video mentioned. Microsoft. It recently from $550 dropping up to, slightly lower than $400. However, for a long run perspective, I still believe Copilot is a very great tool, and eventually the market, the company will continue proving themselves again. AI, cloud business, whatsoever, will really continue to be the winner and leading the market. This stock probably in the next month or so will be going maintaining $410, and then hopefully by next quarter earnings you'll push it $450. Analysts still predicted $550 to $600. The other robots, unfortunately, the stock have continued being pressured and actually dropped below $70. I still think in the short term, hopefully the next 30 days, you'll be even drop even lower than that at $55, or you're going to be going back up at the range of $75. This stock again is not making money. There's a lawsuit concern, but the increase of subscribers, really will. I still think the company will buy them out eventually to cause the stock to go up again. But why not again? Because all the AI high tech stock will get beaten up. So this stock is also one of those. But compared to robots, however, I would recommend buying Netflix for the longer term of view. If you will hold a year or two, I mean, it depends on whether the Warner Brothers still go through or not. This stock really have cash is the king, have a way and increases subscribers over production all over the world. So really causing them doing very well, and unfortunately the stock also being pressured from before the split. Actually, in a calculation of $130 and drop it down to $78. The stock really have a good momentum, and I think once all these unfavorable factors causing investing impatience of waiting the stock to be returned, you will come back up. Remember that actually at one point Netflix was dropping to $200 and going back up to over $1,000, right, in a year or so. So this stock really, compared to the other stock I recommended, I think this stock has a really good potential. Then aside, the Walmart has earnings announcement, which are doing pretty well. That means the retail industry and is not as soft as what probably we're thinking. So that's why the Under Armour stock have been doing pretty well at $8.10. If you think about it, listen to my video, which is about $4.50, where I recommended it. You may have bought it at $5. You still make a very decent 40% return in a month. Also, Likey was another stock recommended. I will see the momentum that from the long run, probably next quarter can drive up to $80. There were rumors that they're gonna have some injection of money going into, and there will be probably some changes going on with Likey that will make the stock a lot more attractive and stronger. Starbucks is really a good example that a lot of time leadership, CEO, CFO, VP, those are the people who have to be very instrumental in changing the strategy to drive the company to a higher values and create, better future that investor love, and that's where it's going to put the stock back up. So those are the one that I think that will be future in that. Again, I also Helium. I'm looking forward to announce earnings, hopefully to drive to $2.30. Again, happy Chinese New Year. Hope the show will be great for you. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Have a great and wonderful weekend and a great year, and hopefully continue to make money.